So you might be looking at this car thinking, that looks like a Honda Accord. It just looks a little bit better. Well, the reason why it has these blue accents is because this isn't just any old Honda Accord. This is the 2015 Honda Accord Hybrid. So under the hood here is a 2-liter inline 4. It puts out 137 horsepower all by itself. However, here it's mated to an electric motor located in the drivetrain. That lets this car get up to 50 miles to the gallon in the city, 45 on the freeway. Combined, you're looking at about 47 miles per gallon. Probably not too surprising, but this Accord has a lot of legroom in the rear. Now, because this is a hybrid, you have to put the batteries somewhere, and in this case, they put them in the trunk. Now, it does use up a little bit of the trunk space, but you can still fit a couple sizable golf bags back there. So this is the 2015 Honda Accord Hybrid. Now, yes, Honda did make Accord hybrids in the past, but they weren't as fancy as this one. This has their newest generation hybrid system, and it's significantly upgraded over the old one. Now, this was introduced in 2014. The problem was Honda was kind of short on some key components, so it was having a real hard time meeting demand. Well, finally, production is cranked all the way to 11 now, and they can push these out. So they are finally available. The leathers here are quite good. The steering wheel leather, it feels just like a BMW that I was driving recently. There's leather on the transmission knob. Up here we have some decent plastics, metallic plastics here. Overall, it's a very pleasing, if not sophisticated, interior. It does mean mostly business, however. This is not a fancy, froofy kind of interior. It is very straightforward, very clean, and I like it. Let's go ahead and turn it on. Push button start. Now, of course, this is a hybrid, which means when you turn it on, it just turns the lights on. There's nothing, the engine rarely starts unless the battery is depleted. So right off the bat, I'm getting some really cool features. I love the blue lighting elements that they've added to this gauge cluster versus the traditional Honda Accord. I think that's really cool looking. Now, in here, I can go through some various menu options. I can look at my average speed. I can look how the hybrid drive is working, my oil life, vehicle settings. I can even look at things like lane detection and the crash mitigation systems. This does have a little flashy light. If it detects an impact, it will flash to alert me to hit the brakes. And if I don't hit the brakes, it'll hit the brakes for me. It does have adaptive cruise control, so I can set it for 60 miles per hour, and if a car gets in front of me that's doing 50, the car will slow down and keep appropriate pace. It also has lane assistance, so that means that the steering wheel will actually steer to keep me in my lane, and of course it also has blind spot monitoring, but not in the traditional way that you would think. There's no little lights out there. It actually has a camera on the rear view mirror that shows me what is in my blind spot. That is brilliant, and honestly, I wish every car would do that, because that is how blind spot should be done. Let's look at the rest of this. Navigation, a key feature. It has Honda's traditional system, which I actually rather like now, and it has the two displays. The top one is the main display, which is a high definition one. The bottom one is a touch screen. It's very cool, it's very quick, super intuitive. You don't have to like jog all over the place to try to find the letters. You just punch in what you want. It's fantastic. And even better, you don't get little smudgy fingers up on a touch screen up above, which I like. Aircon is your traditional setup, very clean, very easy to understand. We also have power outlet, it's a 12 volt, and then we also have USB and aux. We also have high and low heated seats. In here we have another power outlet, but there's no USB in here, curiously enough. So overall, you can see this is one loaded hybrid. Of course, the number one reason to select this hybrid version of the Accord over the standard edition isn't just for looks, it's for mileage.
Around the city, the Accord Hybrid scores an EPA rating of 50 miles to the gallon. On the highway, 45. It's flip-flopped because the electric drivetrain is optimized for stop-and-go traffic, resulting in a more than 100% improvement in city MPGs versus the gas-powered Accord. For a midsize sedan, that's pretty great. Of course, handling of this new edition Accord is still excellent. Honda engineers did their homework to compensate for the additional weight of the electric drivetrain, to provide a car that is just as fun to drive in the country as its traditional counterpart. For $36,000 as tested here, you really can't go wrong with the 2015 Accord Hybrid. For more information on Honda vehicles or to schedule a test drive, visit AutoNation.com today. I'm your host, Ryan Douthit. Thanks for watching.